Hello everybody, welcome to another rapid speedrun game against Casa Lopez, rated 1656. We get a Scandinavian, so you could see the Scandinavian's not as rare as you might think. So you do need to, I guess, get used to it. So we take the pawn as he tries to recapture it with the knight instead of the queen. This is not the main move, but it is the second main move, the second move. So he attacks the pawn, but I just want to put a pawn in the center. I'm going to lose that pawn either way, so I don't want to go out of my way trying to make believe I'm going to defend it and overstretch my position. So he takes with the knight. This allows us to eventually kick it with c4 with tempo. Which I'm going to do now. I'm going to start with that since it's forcing and for free. He goes back, fine. Now we should develop. Let us just bring out the king's knight, support the center. He brings the bishop out, looks at a nice diagonal into our position. Okay, this doesn't threaten anything, so we could continue regular development. Let's bring out the knight. As they're close quarter pieces, they like to move first. He moves the pawn, controls the center, opens a bishop. Okay, I want to continue my own development. Bishop to the center, bring out a new piece, challenge his best piece, all in one move. And prepare castling. He takes, we take. He could have tried something like c5 due to our queen being loose, but he develops the knight. This maybe prepares a pawn thrust, trying to challenge our center, potentially. We could castle, it looks like the most logical move. You could try to prepare for c5, maybe by bringing your bishop out, but then he gets harassed. It's a bit weird. I just want to castle. Bring another piece in the game. He develops the bishop. He's ready to castle himself. But you could see that we have the center. So his position doesn't look impressive. So we should continue bringing out pieces unless we spot a weakness or a forced move we can make for free maybe. I think rook to the open file, semi-open file makes a lot of sense. Bring in a new piece, we know we want it here. Okay, so now he moves his knight, he's shuffling it over to the king side. But with all of these turns he's using for his knight, we're just bringing out new pieces, so we like that. If we push in the center, now that his king is in the middle and unable to castle in one turn, that means it's here for a little bit. If we try to open the position up, and he ignores us, well, our queen is still loose, and I don't really see what we do. So we could probably continue development. However, this bishop is going to be hit by the knights 1000%. So if you do put it to f4, you have to play h3 first to make sure you have a nice cubbyhole. Otherwise, you can try to potentially fianchetto it. That's an idea. But I want to make lift for my king anyway. I might as well take away a square from his piece and go with this idea. Even if you don't put the bishop there, it's a useful move. And he reroutes this, and so now we can't put our bishop here. On this turn anyway. I mean, I suppose we should fianchetto it at this point. Now that he played this, stopping us, It doesn't really make sense to go here. Here, you are weakening the knight, but you don't have a light square bishop to take advantage of it. So it's a little weird. Unless you have this, this, this. That's unnecessary though. I'm just gonna go b3, and this is a move only with the idea of development. I just want a fianchetto to connect my rooks. Now my development is complete. My position looks nice. I'm not automatically winning or anything, but I'd rather be white. And hopefully you would too. So he goes c6, trying to stop an eventual d5 break, which is fair. So based on this pawn structure, we have more space. You know, we have squares for all our pieces. We can bring another rook to the center. This is our main break. And let's see what happens. Okay, he moves his queen out of the alignment so he can put a rook opposite our queen. We definitely can't keep our queen here, nor do we want to. If we transform the structure, then it's symmetrical. We have a pawn on e5, which is space, but it's still a symmetrical structure. Not my favorite. But this knight's kind of not doing much. It's in the way of my bishop. It seems like a nuisance, if anything. So I'm going to improve it to the center, challenge his best defender of his king, and if he takes, I get to move my queen out of the alignment with my recapture. And it's a little, it's in the center, so it would be improving it. So he doesn't capture. He simply puts pressure on our central pawn, which is defended plenty of times. I could capture this. That would bring his bishop forward though, and then I can move my queen. He has 2 attackers. I have, 4 defenders. It's not like he can take it. However, this h3 move, I think I should have just went b3 and fianchettoed immediately. That way, now I can go h4 in 1 turn and harass his knight. That would have been nice. Okay. I think I'm just going to keep my queen as the coordinating piece. And I'll recapture with the rook if he takes. Maybe I could swing it over one day. Not sure. It's an idea. Okay, so he moves this and hits my rook. I mean, I don't want him staring into my position, and my bishop is currently blocked by my pawn. So I'm just going to do this move. He takes. But I'm going to take with the knight, supporting my pawn thrust. Now my knight's not blocking my bishop, whereas it was before. So I don't mind it here now. My rook's open. And it's still pretty even, because his pawn structure is super solid, which is what the Scandinavian tries, to be super solid. So he goes here, which is now, a risky move. If I take it, he wants to take it and say my knight's pinned to my queen. It's weird. We can move our queen. We could defend our queen. Queen back. Now all of these guys are just super protecting each other. Holding each other's hands. They'll never be hanging. He pushes past. But now this, I mean, this seems good for me. If I can get my knight here now. Nice, beautiful outpost. I'll go for it this way, because if I go this way, which is what I wanted to do, maybe he can just kind of say my knight's dumb. I guess I could have rerouted it, but... So we trade, and now let's see what happens. This pawn's a little bit weird. He might have to defend it if I hit it. Okay, he goes queen here. I don't really like this move by him. Don't really like it. He's hitting a pawn. I do want to improve my queen anyway. So let's go back here. Now that the pawn tension's gone, my queen being loose isn't a problem in this position or an issue. I still like white because I think he overextended this a little bit. Since he can't immediately connect the pawns, it's a little odd. He's going here, hitting this pawn. It's defended. One day we want to push. I'm going to go here. You don't have to do this, but I only have a minute. And so even though you could try to prepare d5 and push it when it's favorable, I'm going down a forced transformation. I can't take with the rook unless I hang this pawn. So if I take with the pawn, it's takes, but he has a backwards c pawn, even when he does get it here. I have this a2 pawn, but I feel like maybe I can still try to push for a win there. It's not like he's pushing. Also, if he takes and we take, and he takes, do I have any cool moves? I don't think so. So I have space. He doesn't rook trade. He just solidifies that. Okay, but now I want to bring my rook back here so I can double. Because the main feature of the position now, the only way for the water to get through is this seepage and this seepage. The queen can use the diagonal or the file. The rooks have to use the file. The king can use neither. We only have a minute, so we have to gain more advantage than just this little bit of space that we have. We need to somehow dominate the d file and manage to infiltrate with a rook on on this outpost. And then maybe we can take over the advantage and have a winning endgame. All while watching an eye on our a2 pawn, the only real thing. But if he's ever tempted to solidify the pawns with a5, then his queen never can get to the a file and can't even pressure our, base of our pawn chain, our potential target, which he just does it right now. So we double, but we only have a minute, so I have to switch hands and stop talking a little bit. If he takes and takes, and then rook here, and is that winning? Okay, I'm going to go to the outpost without much thought. So if takes, rook over, queen, takes. Oh, that doesn't work because, okay, he doesn't pay attention. I need to give my king access. I also need to triple. Yeah, let me triple first and then bring my king in. Like maybe just f4 and bring my king up. This is what I want. Take my queen. Take my queen. In this version, I get my rook to d6. He doesn't take my queen. I'm still controlling this. Maybe he'll blunder that. I'm hitting his a pawn. If okay. Now he's hitting this. So I switch which pawn I'm gonna take. I'll take this one. Maybe I can get this if he blunders it. Come on, blunder guy. Yes. I get a free trade. I don't win anything, but just throwing this check. Ah, how do I trade queens? He goes there. I need to trade queens. Got him. Ha 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 ha. Yes, and he resigns. Oh man, what a fight. Why'd he try so hard? Why didn't he blunder, the beginning of the game to make it easy like everyone else? Like in all our other videos where we're winning by move 5. Ah, that was close. I know he was going to go to the back rank. I called it. So this guy, hold on. He's rated 1650. Played a very nice game. No blunders. That's extremely impressive. Only 2 mistakes. He has 5 inaccuracies and 2 mistakes. 40 average center pawn. That's not bad at all. With 87% accuracy. So he has 5 inaccuracy, 2 mistake. We have 2 inaccuracy, 1 mistake of the game. 0 blunders, 16 center pawn, 95%. I'm going to be honest. As I was playing the game, I'm like, am I missing something? Like, is this, why haven't I won yet type of thing? But it's good to know that he was just playing really well, and I wasn't just, going crazy. So let's go through the game. He definitely played above his rating level, but then he blundered a queen, which I guess they call a mistake. What? Okay, so anyway, he does this alternate version of the Scandinavian. They want you to play a move like c4 or bishop c4, or even knight out, saying, "Oh, I want my pawn," but it's all the trap. After we take here, we already know they're gonna take back, so in our mind that's gone. Let's just build up our position. You have to build your position. So we put 1 brick to build the castle. We put a 2nd brick only because it's for free. Then we bring the piece out to support our castle towards the center. He's not making a threat, so we bring another piece out towards the center, defending the castle. We bring another piece out towards the center, defending the castle, trying to kill his main attacker of our castle. He takes, we take, we have 3 pieces out, we're ready to castle. We have a nice center. He has 1 piece out, he's not ready to castle. Not nice center. Now, you're not immediately winning, but this plus 0.8 position is just way easier to play for white. And if white's a strong player, good luck to black. Okay, king safety and future development. Improving a piece and flexibility, staying flexible with the bishop. Now, you could do lots of moves here. If I turn on the engine, yeah, I decided that I wanted to play h4 afterwards because his knight's coming here and I wanted to kick it. But I didn't go for that. So you could just develop the bishop to g5. After h6, what do they want you to do? They want you to take it. And then push because that was the defender. Oh, that makes a ton of sense. That's really obvious too. Whoops. So yeah, h3 was dumb because bishop g5 isn't just a developing move. It's a developing move that furthers your plans, your plan of pushing d5 and breaking it open, because that knight's defending this square. So that was definitely a better move, like in line with what we're trying to do, than h3. Especially with the knight here, you know you can't put your bishop here, so this whole thing doesn't really make sense. So we go b3 to develop our bishop. The game is completely even from an engine perspective, but still from a human perspective, white looks much nicer to play. It's a more pleasant position with more space, and it's easier to play. He just stays solid, he's holding, and we're just increasing the power of our position. Lots of moves here. You could do anything you want. You could jump this knight in the center, so they don't mind the transformation. Yeah, they don't mind this transformation even though it's symmetrical. They say you're still slightly better with the space. It's not a big deal for either side. Okay, so we could jump our knight in. We can move our queen because the rook's coming. They really keep mentioning this g3 move. I guess it's to restrict his knight and improve your king. Makes a lot of sense. We just make another possible move, improving a different piece. They're all kind of the same. In hindsight, I don't know, I kind of like the slow plan of g3, king g2, and then getting on with something else. But in any case, you know, we're just bringing new pieces to the center. Our position looks great. We just get out of this alignment. We don't want to deal with any tactics, so we back up a little bit, consolidate. He goes for our rook, and I immediately cut it off and blocked. I didn't even consider taking the knight, ruining his structure with check, and then moving the bishop in. Now that I'm looking at it, it does stop knight and rook or any piece into the center, but it does weaken his king side. Still not entirely sure how I feel about it. Yeah, not so obvious, but anyway, we take back. It's still an even game from both sides. We don't have a huge advantage in structure, just a little bit of space. I mean, our pieces all look beautiful, right? Can't complain about the harmony of our position at all. But you can't really complain about his because it's extremely solid. There's no real weaknesses. But at the same time, it's not like black's ever going to be attacking your king or you have to worry. The only danger here as white is you realize how passive, or not how passive, how restricted black is, and you get too ambitious and you overpress, and then you create weaknesses that he can target. That's the danger here as white. But we're not really doing any of that. We're kind of, we back up when we need to. We're not going too far forward. And then he makes this move, which, what is this move? Is this a move? It looks weird to me. Yeah, okay, the engine doesn't list. It doesn't hate it, though. Yeah, it's kind of the same. Almost like a no effect move. Weird. It's just a weird looking move. And then I guess we make an equally weird looking move. But the goal was to just defend the queen. Keep the queen defended, but out of this alignment. So that we could threaten. So our move looks weird, but it creates the threat. Takes and takes, winning the pawn. So it's a threat. That's why he pushes past. We jump in the center. He trades, force move. Engine says it's plus 0.5, slight advantage. White optically looks nicer. He also has a little more space in the center. We just improve and defend. We jump our knight in the center. And what other options are there? We can improve our queen to the central file. We can retreat our rook to connect them. We can go h4 to threaten h5. And on h4, h5, you jump your knight in. Threatening devastation. Okay, so we jump our knight in the center. He trades. So basically we jump our knight in the center and it's what I thought, just an even position. But the computer's saying maybe you could have tried to milk it for a little bit more with other slow moves. Instead of just initiating the trade right now, maybe try to improve your position first. Although they were recommending it earlier. In any case, I'm not worried here as white, right? Like, it's not a big deal. I thought he played well, and that's why I didn't have a real advantage. And it seems to be the case. So right now it's all zeros. So completely even position. And I determined that this was the most important thing, the D file. So I retreat since he took control over the D4 square. I can't put my rook there. My plan was just to go here and get the outpost. I go for it. He doesn't take me, which I thought was weird because it allows me to get the outpost immediately and triple, which kind of just, controls the D file for good. And at this point, it looks really nice for white. It looks like black's going to be on the defensive. And at this moment is my one mistake of the game. I didn't even consider pawn takes, which is the best move. I didn't even consider pawn takes. Not even because I thought, oh, it would be weak. Like, hypothetically, let's say he puts a rook here, gets a queen and a king around it. Although that's not even a thing because he can't stop us from pushing next if we wanted. The reason I didn't look at it was because I realized that if I take this and he takes me and I take with the rook, he cannot come to the D file. Which means I can just get behind whichever pawn I want, start eating stuff as soon as I get my king here to block the infiltration squares. Because I don't want to go hunting his pawns and then let his rook enter my position. So I was going to leave my rook on the D6 square, get my king here, and then start eating stuff. So if I take with the pawn, and he tries to blockade, because what else? Now if you push the pawn, then he can surround it with the king and the queen. So you leave it here, and you just try to press. Engine saying this is the best at plus 0.7, but I don't think this is easy at all. Also, I had 40 seconds on my clock, but yeah. So I make this move, and I still like this move. So if he takes, this is still even. I take a4. I guess just trying to liquidate one of the two weaknesses that I would target. And I guess at the end of the day, although white is the one trying to win, it's still an equal game. Once he avoids, it's saying now I'm just plus 1.2 and higher the rest of the game. I'm basically just winning after he avoids the queen trade because now my queen can target his weaknesses, which is exactly what I do. I pick up free stuff. I force this and it's plus 5. So even here it's plus 5, but I wasn't 100% sure I was going to win because I had 30 seconds on my clock, and queens, if it gets to be, inside my position, that could be, annoying. So it's funny that I found, oh, I guess it's a check, it's not that hard, but I was really just trying to consolidate a tiny bit with tempo. And the engine's like, just go c5, this is easy to win. But I have 30 seconds and I'm just panicking and moving my queen around and trying to just be annoying. There's no way I'm going for promotion right now. So I take free stuff. And I knew he would blunder. Boom. Because that was the whole idea of what he was doing. Even if he didn't and he just took the pawn, I have 3 connected passers. Huge win condition, but with 26 seconds, I can easily mess up and give up a perpetual. So even though I played with 95% accuracy, I still feel like I missed a ton of stuff. But, I mean, that's fine. We'll try to correct it next game. the next time someone plays a Scandinavian against us, the second main line. Good luck in your chess and goodbye.